Hey guys, One Clue here. I hope all of you are doing really well and having a really good day. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to set up a node for Kaspa and how to connect to it using your mining software. Whether you're setting up a node on your own home lab or in the cloud, I've got you covered. So let's get started. So first things first, let's talk about where to set up your node. If you're looking to set up a node locally, you can do so on your own home lab using a dedicated computer or Raspberry Pi. If you prefer to set up a node in the cloud, there are plenty of cloud providers out there that offer virtual private servers or dedicated servers that you can use to set up your node. In this example, I'm using Linode as my cloud provider, and if you use my referral link down in the video description, you get a $100 credit bonus for the first 60 days. So basically, you can host your Kaspa node for the first 60 days for free. Once you've decided where to set up your node, it's time to get started with the setup process. Okay, so let's hop over to Linode, and I'm logged in my account. And as you can see, I've clicked on Create and on Linode. And here we're going to choose a version that we want to use as our operating system. In this example, I'm using Ubuntu 20.04 LTS. I'm selecting a region. And for this example, I'm using the Linode 4GB version. So I'm clicked on Share CPU and I'm using the Linode 4GB version. Due to the fact that I have 80 gigabytes of storage on this one, and as far as I know, the DAG size currently, if you're hosting a full node, is above 50 or 60 gigabytes, so it would be necessary to have a node that has a higher capacity than this, and this one offers around 80 gigabytes of storage, so that's fine for now. Just keep in mind that you might need a bigger one in the future if you want to host a full node. But this example is not really about a full node. We're using a Stratum bridge. It is basically downloading a part of the blockchain, not the DAG size. And yeah, but to go over all the steps, I want to hop over to my own website. It's called oneclue.de, and here you can find my latest article. I set up an article about how to host your own Kaspa node and that you can mine to it. And we use this to set up everything, so that this is a pretty easy step and you can follow this along. If you don't want to watch this video, just check out my website. I have a link in the video description, and then you can follow up the actual guide. I put this into 4 different steps. It's pretty easy to follow and everything in there is covered. So we set up our shared CPU, we choose the 4GB Linode version, and now we want to give this a name. I call this Kaspa-video. I give this a current not so strong password, but that doesn't really matter. Maybe I should change it to something else. Yeah, that should do this. Keep in mind, choose a strong password over here, because this is the password that you need to log into your Linode. We can scroll down, and that's basically it. We can now click on Create Linode, and this will spin up the Linode for us. Just give this a couple of seconds and this will be up and running. So I will skip this part here. Okay, as you can see, my Linode is running. I click on Launch List Console. This will open a new tab for us. And as you can see, the server is still doing something. So we take this moment and go over here and scroll down a little bit to the step number 2. So we need to get either SSH access, or we need to go over and use the list console that Linode is offering us. In this case, we choose the localhost login as root and the password that you have been set up in the first place. Okay, let's hop over here. So the first thing we need to do is to do a sudo apt update. This is pretty easy. So basically, this guide is just doing a copy paste but you just need to follow the steps, and you need to read what's going on here due to the fact that there's something that you need to be aware of, due to that the Kaspa node needs some time to set up. But this step, the steps are really easy to follow, and you should be good to do this on your own, even if you just read my article. So let's give this a couple of seconds. So as we can see, the next command is a little bit more, these backslashes. This is basically an indicator that the command is not done, and the next lines should be also into the command. It's just for convenience, it's nothing that you really need. You could also do like sudo apt get install and then all the commands in between with an and symbol, but it's just for convenience, so whatever. I will skip this step so that we can go along. Okay, so the upgrade is done. We can now go over to the next command that we want to paste in. It's this one. Just press enter, should be done, good. Now we need to copy everything out of here. That should be fine. That's good. Now we need to do another update. One second. There we go. It could be that I'm sorry, I missed something. We need, oh, I'm sorry, I need to do this first, and then we can do this one. Sorry. There we go. And now we can do the update. It's pulling all the packages that we need, and now we can install Docker, because in this tutorial on this guide, let me see what I have done wrong. Okay, the last command is processing. Just to give you an overview what I have done wrong. Pretty simple. You just need to paste, you just need to copy the first one. Then after this you need to copy the curl part, basically this one. And then you can copy this one. I will make a new line between all the commands. I'm sorry for this inconvenience. But yeah, and afterwards you can do the sudo apt get update and then the Docker installation. So basically when it comes to the server, we are now done. We now need to set up our Kaspa node, and that's pretty simple. It's just like that. You need to copy this command, paste it in here, press enter, and now the server is downloading all the necessary information from the Kaspa Docker, and it's installing the Docker to give you an idea what's currently happening in the background. Basically, the server is now connecting to other nodes and is trying to download a couple of the latest blocks to get up to the current height. This can take up to 2 hours. In the documentation, it's been called roughly between 20 minutes to 2 hours. I noticed myself that giving this up to 1 to 1.5 hours is a good idea. You will see this in a second. There's a process that will start here that is then downloading all the necessary blocks, and this needs a couple of seconds, or well, not a couple of seconds, this needs a couple of minutes, but afterwards your Kaspa node is up and running, and it's pretty simple. It's just like that you need to copy paste. Now it should be starting to connect to those and downloading things. Yep, it's currently downloading all the things, it's applying informations, and we should see a percentage number at any second. Just let's give this a couple more seconds so that you can understand what I'm talking about. Now you can see that we have here 1%. This needs to go up to 100%. This takes a couple of seconds, and after the 100% is done, this needs to approve all the things it downloaded and then apply all the things. So something between 1 and 2 hours is fine. So I will skip this process for you and we'll be back later. Okay guys, so now most of the part should be done. it's not completely done, but we can go ahead to the next step. I also changed quickly all the things on my blog so that you can determine which comment is which and that you don't paste multiple comments into one. But yeah, let's go ahead to step number 3. And basically what we have to do now is to configure our network and set up some network rules normally. And why do I say this? For a simple reason. If you want to host this on your home network, you just need to expose one TCP port, and that's port 5555, to the local machine or the server that is running in your home lab. In Linode, we don't need to do anything of this due to the fact that all ports are basically open, and so we don't need to set up any net rules, anything else. And to be honest, just for the fact that you mine to your own Kaspa node, we don't really need to set up any rules because we are not running a pool or anything else. We just run our own Stratum node and we just connect with our workers to it, and we receive all the rewards for us. Even if other people connect to it and try to mine to it, if they find a block, they will receive this block reward on their own wallet. So it's not a big deal, but just so that I have said this in this video. So I wrote a little bit about this on my blog. So if you want to set this up on your home net, make sure that you need to open up the port on this machine. And okay, on my command line interface of the machine, I can press Ctrl+C to get out of the logs, and we can go ahead with the next step. In step 3, we see that you should, or you could, run the command sudo apt-get install. Basically, this is installing the latest version of Git, but as you see, Git is already installed on the newest version, so that's not a big deal. What we can do now is copy the next command and paste it in. This is basically all the front end, you could say, and the Stratum, the back end that is connecting your miner with the node. Okay, now let's cd into the folder, and here we can set up or paste in our latest command. After this, we don't need to do anything else. What this is doing is downloading all the necessary resources that it needs. It is setting up a Prometheus instance, it is setting up the Kaspa bridge, it is also setting up a Grafana dashboard so that we can see everything what is going on with our node. And that is basically it. What we can do now is that I can take a look. That is this IP address. I can paste this in and put in the port number 3000. This will go move us over to the Grafana dashboard. You log in with the username of admin, and the password is admin as well. After this, it tells you, hey, create a new password. I create a new password for this quickly. And we can submit. Now you can see there is a dashboard, it's called monitoring, and we go into this. Currently, it is showing no data. This is absolutely normal due to the fact that our machine is not really done. And when I go up a little bit, we can see why. We can see that it is still processing some headers, it is still doing something, but when you are done with everything, it should look like something like this. This is my dashboard for my Kaspa node that I host locally on my home lab. And as you can see, I have a couple of connected miners to use. You can see your average hash rate. This is not really accurate. The 1 hour and the 1 day is kinda accurate. But the 1 minute is not really accurate, to be honest. And I also needed to change something on the Grafana dashboard due to the fact that if I edit this and I scroll down a little bit, I was seeing a hash per second. This one, I was seeing this unit, but what we need is kilo hash per second. And this will change the numbers to according numbers. Let's hop over here. We can see, yeah, there's something going on. It's validating all the pruning points and stuff. It's doing stuff in the background, so you don't need to worry about this. Basically, your Kaspa node is now done, and what we can do is to check if everything is okay. We can go over to port checker. I can copy my IP address and put in the port number 5555 and check if it's opened. Currently it's closed, but as soon as this gets opened, you can start mining on this. And to do so, let's scroll a little bit down. I posted on my blog page that you just can set this up in Hive-OS. You just need to change your flight sheet. What you need to do is select your coin, select your wallet, and then for pool, you select the configure in miner option. And I set this up for 2 miners, for Team Red Miner and for LOL Miner. And for Team Red Miner, you just paste in your IP address of your server in there, and the 5555. For LOL Miner, it's similar. You just paste in your IP address, but then in the port section, there you put in the port. So that's basically the difference between Team Red Miner, that you put in there the double point 5555, and in LOL Miner you just use this scheme. So, and that's basically it. Now we're done, and you can mine to your own node. And there you have it. Your node is set up and ready to start mining. With this setup, you'll be able to mine Kaspa and earn some extra income. Thank you guys for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe for more content like this.